what is PSPS?
The
We'll get to
public
the
safety.
second half of that
Yeah.
in a bit, but yeah, what is just PSPS to begin with?
Public Safety Power Shutoff. It's proactively turning off the power to prevent a forced outage or an outage or an issue on the system that could potentially lead to ignition. So by you turning off the power ahead of time, you're getting ahead of what you see as a potential outage risk. By you having control over how the power goes out, you can control the potential for an ignition. But if you let Mother Nature take it out, you're likely going to get sparks and you could get an ignition. Now it says here, is it an action of last resort?
Yep, we're
That's
top of the
typically what
list.
you hear, but it is sort of the last action you take to mitigate your risks. So in that way, it is the action of last resort because you've already done settings, you've already made all these other operational changes. And if you get to PSPS, that really is sort of like, well, we have no other options to take to mitigate our risk other than shut off the power.
Yeah, not only in Vail, but also at the PG&E event that we went to, we heard from all the utilities that the idea of a PSPS actually goes against everything that they stand for as a utility, that they exist to provide power unfettered to their consuming customers. So they don't take that decision lightly. And it's something that is a kind of an educational and a cultural change process within their utilities when they consider them, institute them, and then actually pull the trigger and do one.
Yep.
Uh, Steve, you've talked about that evolution that utilities have to take. We'll get to a question later about what it means to decide one, but what did that evolution mean for the utilities that you were a part of?
Yeah, it's a huge cultural change. It's a huge change. It's a huge hurdle to get over. Think about it this way. It's hard for those of you who've never been in a utility, it's hard to understand what that truly means or feels like. So from a techno-silver perspective, imagine that there were periods of time where we had to turn off the data feeds to all of our customers to protect them. So think about right now you having that responsibility to say, all our customers are relying on our data, but we have to take a 48-hour outage on that data because otherwise we could hurt or kill somebody. Think about what that would feel like to be like, wait, but we're in the business of providing data to people so that they can go about their lives and do things safely, right? And mitigate huge risks. It's a
Yeah.
risk transfer. So for utilities to shut off the power, it's it goes against 100 years of what is ingrained in any utility employee's blood. And not only that, it's a risk transfer. You're transferring the risk from the utility to the customer because now there's a bunch of additional risks that those customers have to face by being without power for however many hours or days that they're going to be without power.